What's up, YouTube, man? It's your boy Action Jackson, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over what the front office of the Dallas Cowboys, also including Mike McCarthy, and what they were talking about before the NFL draft that happens on this Thursday, and their opinions about it, and how they're viewing the draft, and how many first-round grades they have on certain players. Jerry Jones made a spicy comment and everything like that. So before we hop into the video, I would appreciate if you guys would like the video, subscribe if you're new, comment and you think will enjoy my content, man. So just hopping straight into it, I'm going to be posting the quotes from Michael Gelkin. Shout out to him. If you guys are a Cowboy fan and you guys want to look for somebody who, you're looking to get more into the Cowboy community and you want to be in tune on certain things, make sure you guys follow Michael Gelkin. I'll leave his @ and everything like that, in the screenshots during the video. But the first quote I'm gonna go over was that when the pre-draft news conference has begun, Stephen Jones determined on how many first-round grades that they have on their draft board, but they said it should be in the range of anywhere from 15 to 18. And the Cowboys, we do pick at 26, so more than likely, when you are picking that late in that back half of the draft, you are not going to see a lot of first-round talent hanging around there. So if the Dallas Cowboys potentially have somebody at 26 that they have graded as that they had in that range from 15 to 18 players that are first-round graded, and they are there at 26, I can see the Dallas Cowboys getting them. Now, who will be at 26? It's still to be determined, because at the time of this recording, Aaron Rodgers has been traded to the New York Jets. That happened earlier today around like 1 or 2 o'clock. So, now they just basically switched first-round picks, and the Packers picked them an extra second-round pick in this year's draft. So Packers pick at 13. So, normally they don't really go for offensive players. They might pick somebody like a defensive lineman or a cornerback or somebody of that nature. So it could be a possibility that the Dallas Cowboys do trade up, and if they do trade up for a player, it depends on who it is. If they are trading up for somebody, I would love them if they're trading up for anyone, I would like it to be Darnell Wright, the offensive tackle out of Tennessee. And if Terrence Steele is able to go week 1, you kick to guard, Tyler Smith at tackle, Terrence Steele at right tackle, Zach Martin at right guard, and Tyler Biadasz at center. You should be fine like that. If Nolan Smith is available, that's my top 3 edge in this year's class. If he's available, I would love Dallas Cowboys to get him, because now that can take the stress off of DeMarcus Lawrence, and Nolan Smith can start, and he can bring way better pass rushing tools than what DeMarcus Lawrence can. If Jackson Smith-Njigba is there, I'll definitely trade up for him. Joey Porter slides down to 20s. I'm trading up for him as well. So there's a couple of guys that I would love the Dallas Cowboys to trade up for. Like I said, they only got 15 to 18 graded first-round picks, and that also tells you about this year's draft class as well. They also don't see this as like a highly talented class, which I am in agreement with. There's not a whole lot of game changers in this year's draft class. There's a lot of players that, they're going to know their role. They're going to come in. They're going to help your team win football games. I see this as like a lot of role. The second quote leading into them possibly trading up, they asked Stephen Jones about trade discussions, but they're saying nothing is concrete, that there has been some discussions on trades. But the quote from Stephen has said, very few trades are done in the back end. Little sense today on how board will fall. I just think it will be a game day decision, if you will, on how it evolves. So, like I said, if a top talent that they have graded anywhere from those 18 best first-round players are there, and they're hanging around in the balance in the 20s, I can see the Cowboys trading up for them as well. We got to also thinking about the teams that are also behind you, like Buffalo, New Orleans, Philly, Kansas City, Cincy. Those are a lot of teams. The majority of those teams are going to trade up, like New Orleans, Philly, Kansas City, Buffalo. Those are teams that are going to trade up for somebody. If they really love somebody, they will trade in front of you. So you got to think about for your Dallas Cowboys as well. Not only got to think about the people behind you, you also got to think about the people that are in the second round, that are early in the second round, because that's what a lot of teams do in the second round. You can also see teams like Houston, and they have two second round picks, so they can jump back into the first if they want to go pick another first round talent. So you got to keep in mind of all those teams that are behind you, trading up for talent as well. So I can definitely see that happening, man. And I'm in agreement with him as well, what he was saying. Other than a little joke that he said that they're going to drive nothing but offensive players. But I believe in him and what you have to believe in your board and the scouting that you have done throughout the entire year to when it comes down to April, that you already know who you're going to select, when and where, and you have a pretty good chance of what player is going to be around that 26 or around that range of 26 to where you can draft up and get them. But I think what the Dallas Cowboys did so far in free agency is that they put themselves in a great spot to where that they fixed cornerback 2, they fixed wide receiver 2. They got some depth pieces on the defensive line. They re-signed a lot of our players back that were key into helping us get into that 12-5 record. So now they can either sit at 26, they can trade back if they want a couple spots, if they still believe that the player that they want at 26 is going to be there in a later pick within the first round. I don't think the Dallas Cowboys are going to want to trade out of the first round, especially since when you do draft in the first round, you get the player for a guaranteed 5 years, because they treat that fifth-year option sort of like a franchise tag. And then also, if you're that spiteful, you can franchise tag them again. So I believe Mike McCarthy saying that, believe in your board and that there will be, a great player each time that they're on the clock. So that's something that I do believe right then and there. They talked about Matt Waletzko. They're saying he's knocking it out of the park, and this is in quotation marks. I don't know how Matt Waletzko is going to be, but apparently they're saying that they're moving him and, they're moving him to guard. So I don't know. I don't know how that's going to be really. If he wasn't really that great of a tackle, I don't think he's going to be like that much better at guard, but who knows? We're going to have the entire preseason training camp in Oxnard and in Dallas. There's a lot of people out there that's going to cover that. So we're going to really see if he has been knocking it out of the park. And then Jerry Jones said, in a quote, basically that drafting isn't a problem. Drafting isn't a problem, but our coaching has. And even though it was a joke, that, that as they do say, jokes have a little bit of truth into them. So I really think what he's talking about is he wasn't talking about the coach next to his right, because you exclude that year, that down year when it was his first year head coaching, he lost his starting quarterback. Starting running back had went down. Defense was horrific. It was the worst ever in NFL history. You take away that year, he had 2 straight years of taking you to 12-5 seasons, getting you a playoff win and everything like that. So he's done a lot more and had a lot of more success in the regular season. Now he needs to do better and progress us through in the playoffs. But I agree with Jerry Jones that, every single time that you guys, not you guys, but, when a lot of people talk about the Dallas Cowboys and they would clown us, it never had to involve with the talent or the players that we had and how good or bad they were. It was about us getting it done and everything like that. But, a lot of different things that when you can clown the Cowboys about, the one thing that you can't is talk about is their drafting. We do a really great job at drafting. Outside of, the first round pick of 2017, we do really, really well drafting. We don't have a problem in doing that, in my opinion. And it's not even opinionated. It's just, if you look at it, you line our draft classes in the last 10 years to everybody else's, we're up there. We're a top 5 drafting team. And considering that, we haven't picked in top 5 outside of like a couple of years, and the only time that we picked top 5 in any sort of years were when we were completely trash and, we had significant injuries. That's the only time we ever picked at top 5. We never picked in top 5 because we didn't have enough talent. Even if we did have the talent, but we didn't succeed in the regular season, we'll pick in the middle rounds, 12 to 18. We got to the playoffs, maybe got bounced in the first round. We picking in the early 20s. We win a playoff game, we're in the mid-20s. We won 2 playoff games, we're picking in the back end of the 20s, early 30s. So, drafting hasn't been a problem, but I think the head coach he's taking a shot at, really, in my opinion, is Jason Garrett, his second son, outside of Stephen Jones, who was doing broadcasting out NBC. That's who he was talking about. Because there's no way you can be talking about Jason, Mike McCarthy when he brought you more success in the 3 years he's been coaching than when you had a coach for 10 NFL seasons and they only took you to the playoffs 3 times. They got you 2 playoff wins. So I know for sure he's not talking about them, but for sure we already know that. And within the realm of the Dallas Cowboys nation, we know that Mike McCarthy is in the hot seat. And for me and how I feel about the front office, and like I said already, with Aaron Rodgers already getting out of the NFC, your best quarterback, in my opinion, is Dak Prescott. If you want to give it to Hurts, I'm not going to argue with you there. But you got Hurts, you got Dak, you got Matt Stafford, you got Kirk Cousins, you got Geno Smith. So you don't really have a heavy loaded NFC like how you had years past with Drew Brees, Russell Wilson. You don't have Tom Brady here no more. You don't have Aaron Rodgers in the NFC no more. You don't have any up-and-coming players that were coming over to take over the scene or anything like that. You don't have any of the Manning brothers. So Dallas Cowboys, for me, it's Super Bowl appearance or bust. I'm tired of that NFC conference title. I understand people are saying, like, you gotta at least make small steps, but it's like if the Cowboys were to go to the NFC conference game and lose by 2 points, everyone will say that we're choke artists. Everyone's going to say that you were this close to the Super Bowl, but you didn't get there. And I think that's how the front office and the Joneses would see and look at it for potentially firing Mike McCarthy. So for me and how I view it, it's Super Bowl or bust, because you're going to have the roster to do it. The NFC isn't totally loaded. This is the first time the front office ever got a little bit aggressive. They didn't get as aggressive as I wanted them to be, but they got a little bit more aggressive than they have been in years past. And they actually made moves to better this roster. So now your roster is up there with Philly and San Fran. Now all it comes down to is results in the big games. So yeah, man, that's about it for the video. Hope you guys have a nice day. Stay safe, stay blessed.